guys, Tracy here, and I'm going to scrapbook this picture that my husband took, and then the picture of my husband taking the picture, and then a picture that is the name of the crystal waterfall. I'm just having a look through. This is not a kit. I'm not scrapbooking from a kit today. I am using some recent buys. I keep my recently purchased papers all in one section in my scrapbooking room, and now I'm also having a look at the cat scrappiness kit that Kat sent for me. I'm the guest design team member this month, and she sent me a whole whack of cork and balsa wood goodies, and I can't wait to use them. So I dug right in today. I I really like this Studio Calico paper from the Snippets collection. I like the other side, but I think that the green looks a little bit better with this bunch of pictures. The yellow side on the other side is just there's too much yellow because that picture has a lot of yellow in it. I thought about using that star paper from L Studio, but I don't think I'm going to end up using it. And then these are it's just a handful of my favorite papers that I didn't have, so I just picked them up I think I got them at 2Ps or something the last time I placed an order. So this is my very favorite paper, that orange and yellow paper from Studio Calico from the Snippets collection. That's my favorite paper right now, and so I definitely want to use it. I'm going to use it as a border here, and because I love it so much and I only have one piece of it, I'm going to cut out the middle of it. I'm placing the cameras and the pictures just so that I know that I have enough space to have a border, because a border, of course, it makes the surface that you're working with a little bit smaller, so I just want to make sure that it's still going to look okay. And I wanted to set all my pictures out, and as opposed to doing a lot of layering, I wanted this one to be more of a block design. Before I commit to those papers, I just wanted to have a look at the Maggie Holmes collection because I have a lot of it and I love it, and I thought I might want to use it, but the colors are just too bright for this layout. I wanted to go with more of a muted look. So that's what I'm going to stick with is this green paper is from Snippets, and then the floral paper behind it is from Sundrifter, and those are both Studio Calico collections. I'm just gonna I cut the manufacturer's strip off of that, and then I'm just cutting a square out of the middle of it because I don't want to waste that paper because it is the only piece I have. And then this Snippets paper, the green paper, I just cut a 1/2 inch off of 2 different sides so that I'd have a 1/4 inch border all the way around it. I'm going to outline, just double outlining it. And then I'm going to attach it. I had already put the adhesive on that orange paper. And I really like how the orange paper brings out the yellow. Not that the yellow needed much bringing out, it's quite a strong photo, but I just like how the border looks with that yellowy toned photo, which is a beautiful photo it's kind of like a big giant chandelier in the bottom part of the Rockefeller Center. We went to go to Top of the Rock that night and to go up to the top and see the city, but it was sold out for the night, and plus it was rainy, so we were a little bit disappointed that we couldn't see the top, but the bottom had this beautiful chandelier, and so Scott had all of his camera gear because we were planning to take pictures from the top of the rock. So instead we took pictures from the bottom of the rock, and so that's what this layout is about. I'm just taking those balsa wood pennant shapes from Cat Scrappiness, and I'm layering them in with some ormolu triangle pennants, and of the ones that I had to choose from, I didn't have the right colors, so I decided to cut a third one just from that gray feather paper, which is also from the Sundrifter collection from Studio Calico. And so two of those big triangles are from ormolu, and then the third one you just saw me cut from the Studio Calico paper. This paper is from Ellie's Studio, and it is from the Serendipity collection. And it was in, I think it was in one of the Scraptastic kits last month. I think it was in the carry-on kit. and I didn't get a chance to use it, so I wanted to make sure I used it because it's really, really pretty. So I'm thinking about what other pieces I'm going to use from my cat scrappiness stash that I have over there to the side, and just kind of having a look at it all. Pretty soon I'm going to start to, oh, there I go, I'm outlining all of the papers, and then I will adhere some of them down. So I'm going to outline those pennants as well. And I am going to outline the balsa wood ones, but first I'm going to mist them. So I'm not going to outline them at this point, or they would smudge when I misted them, when the water from the mist hit them. Now I'm going to try something here that's not going to work, so you'll get to see that. I'm using my craft mat, and I thought I have this distress stain. I've had it in my stash for a while, and I haven't used it on anything, and I thought maybe I could use it on this, but it just like it doesn't have enough color in it. It just absorbs into the cork and it doesn't color it at all. So, or at least I couldn't get it to color it. So I decided to go with my opaque white mist. I have used this on cork before, so I did know that this would work. I just tested it on one of the little round cutouts just in case, but I did know that this one would work. I put 2 coats of white because the cork does really absorb the mist because there's a lot of moisture in it. And I'm just cleaning my hands really, really well. That's one tip for using opaque white Mr. Huey's, is that it doesn't dry. So if you have any on your hands, it will transfer to whatever you're touching. So you want to really, really clean your hands when you're using opaque white. What I wanted to say is that you want to make your cork camera be even whiter than you want it to be, because as it dries, it will absorb more of the color. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now I'm going to mist, that is Seafoam Mr. Huey's. And now this one is Boss Lady, which is or maybe, no, that was Sunshine, and this one is Boss Lady. I can't remember which is which. So now you're going to see me outline, and when you outline on cork, it's important that you don't press too hard because cork is very bumpy, and if you press too hard, you will come against the bumps and it will make your lines look really jaggedy. Whereas if you just kind of run it lightly over, and it's better to run it over it lightly and then go back over it if you missed a piece than it is to press too hard, because if you press hard, you will get jaggedy lines, or at least I always get jaggedy lines when I press hard on cork. I love outlining embellishments. It just gives it that personalized look, and it helps it to stand out from the other elements behind it. And where I am putting these on pattern papers, I just really want them to stand out. So that's why I am outlining them. And plus it's just kind of a look that I like. So now I'm going to glue the other pieces down. Up until this point, I only had the 4x6 photo glued down. It was just basically holding my spot. And then everything else I glued down according to where that 4x6 was, so that everything would be straight. I'm using my Tombow Mono liquid adhesive for this. I often use glossy accents for bulky embellishments, but today I'm using Tombow. Tombow dries clear and matte, so if some of it oozes out, it's not shiny like glossy accents is when it oozes, so that's one of the benefits to using Tombow. Now this is the card that I keep my flare on. It is by Quick Cuts. I'm going to show you a close-up of it in a few minutes. I just keep my flare on adhesive strips on that, just so I can see all of the flare that I have. It's by Quick Cuts, there you see it. So I just picked out 4 flare badges. I couldn't decide between the white one and the black one for one of them, so I just kept them both out just in case. So now, while I was doing all of that stuff, the balsa wood banners have been drying, and so now they're ready to outline. If you try to outline them while they're still wet, your marker will will bleed, so you don't want to do that. You want to make sure they're really good and dry. Now what's happening here is my marker isn't drying up, but it's getting gummed up or like a dried tip to it from going over the balsa wood, and I'm not sure if that's because it has the mist on it or what, but I've noticed whenever I use that marker for anything mixed media or technique-y, it does that, but all you have to do is just kind of scribble it really slowly on a separate piece of paper and it gets the ink flowing again, and the ink will kind of fix the tip up. So I'm layering the ormolu triangle pennants, and then one of those three is a homemade ormolu pennant. And I'm just layering those behind the balsa wood pennants. And then I'm also going to make some pennants out of some little banners out of this washi tape. I just really like the colors of the washi tape, and it picked up a little tiny bit on Scott's shirt, has some purple in it. There's not really purple in this tape, but there's kind of like a fuchsia. There's a fuchsia color and a navy blue, and I just thought it looked good with the layout. So now I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next, and I pulled out some stickers when I was off camera, and these are crepe paper stickers. I think they're from the On Trend collection. I'm going to layer 2 of them. It just took me a little bit to get them layered right, and I'm putting them above the camera because I had reserved that area for journaling, but then I decided to do something else with my journaling. So now I'm going to layer some arrows here as well. So this is going to become a little cluster above the camera. And these vellum stickers are by Studio Calico, and I really like them a lot. I pulled off the Studio Calico arrow, which is made out of cork, so it coordinates fairly nicely with the layout. So I just wanted to mist it with opaque white Mr. Huey so it will match the cameras that I've already misted. Just cleaning up my hands really, really good there because I used that white ink again, and now I'm placing that arrow, and I'm also going to layer a couple of other hearts up here in the corner. That's my Stampin' Up! Heart punch, and I punched a bit of that paper that I took out of the middle of the frame that's on the background, so that's that Sundrifter paper that I like so much. The Stampin' Up! Punch punches 3 wonky hearts, and I love wonky hearts, so I'm just combining them there. And I ripped the heart. I was going to try to fix it, and then I thought, you know what, there's plenty of hearts on this sticker sheet. I can give up one of them. My tiny attacher is broken. It's never worked. Like it broke the first time I used it, and I've had it for years. Somebody actually very nicely sent me a Joann's gift card so that I could buy myself a new tiny attacher, and they were out of stock the 2 times I went to check. So I'm going to check again soon because I'm getting tired of my tiny attacher being like that. I'd love to order a new one. So I'll probably do that tonight. So now I am just getting some new thread, and I was going to go for gold because I keep going back and forth between silver and gold, and then I just decided I'd go with this really pretty blue color of thread that I have. And I'm going to sew an L-shaped, almost like a sewn border around this edge and then the bottom edge of the layout as well. And I'm just doing 3 straight stitches, although they're not all that straight. They're kind of, they look kind of doodly. And I just have to be careful when I'm going under the camera because the camera is so dimensional that the foot kind of goes a little sideways when you're sewing, and it wants to kind of slip over to the side. So there it is. And now I'm also going to sew those pennants in place. I'm going to use 3 straight stitches here too. And some of these stitches will be covered up, but you will see them peeking through, and you'll be able to know that these pennants are sewn down. So I'm using adhesive to put these in place, just my regular ATG adhesive. I'm having one of them go off the edge. And now I'm going to use my tiny attacher to staple those pennants in place. And then these ones I'm going to use a string, and I'm actually going to make them over again. You'll see me do it in a second, so I won't tell you about it. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do here. I haven't decided yet on which of those flare badges I'm going to use. I had taped the other ones down already. I committed to the other ones. The two that are already adhered are by Life in Bits and Pieces, and the one that I can't decide on, both of those are from A Flair for Buttons. They're Instagram themed flare badges. So I put a couple of extra hearts, one from the Studio Calico sticker set and then two from the wonky punched heart punch that I have from Stampin' Up. And now I have some linen string that I got from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to make those banners so that they hang on a thread. And now I'm just cutting the little fishtails onto them, getting rid of the other ones. I'm going to staple it in place with my tiny attacher, and then I'm going to use pop dots to hold the flags in place so they don't flip around, but also to give it a bit more dimension so it stands up from the other layers of the pennants. So I finally committed to the white badge. It seemed to fit with the other badges. All the other badges had a touch of white on them, so I went with the white flare badge. Now I'm going to do my journaling, and it says, "It is so fun to watch you work. This evening we came to go to the top of the rock," not the best grammar, "to take photos of the sky at night, but it was sold out for the night. You had your gear, so when you saw this crystal light in the basement level, you took photos of the bottom of the rock. I love your passion. Rockefeller Center, New York's NYC." So I just put that piece of paper there so that if I had any gunk on my wrist was picking up ink and stuff from other parts of the project, and I just didn't want to get it on my photos, so I just used the piece of paper there to mask. I'm looking for a photography themed roller date stamp, and I ended up going with the Studio Calico one that says photographed on. And now you get to see the close-up. And it actually isn't finished. I was going to have the title of this be the photo that has the title of the crystal. It was going to be called Joie Crystal Waterfall. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I'm pretty sure it's French. So here I'm just showing you this because I didn't know I was going to read it to you in the narration. So I'm just holding it up so that you can read it, but you already know what it says. And then another close-up of the banner. It's a busy banner. It's, not everybody's going to want something that busy, but I like it. It's colorful and it's fun, and the rest of the layout is pretty simple, so I thought I could afford. So that was going to be my title right there, but I went back, and you're going to see in a second that I went back and used some Kelly Perky letter stickers to spell out bottom of the rock. And I really like this a lot better with the title there. It brings a pop of white into the layout that there already was some white in the layout, but I just really love the look of white letters, and I love, love, love those Kelly Perky letter stickers. I featured them on my blog as a Fab Find Friday post, so I'm a little obsessed with those letters. There you get to see the cluster of stickers above the camera and my stitching. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Take care. If you've got any questions or have any comments, just leave me a comment below. Take care. Bye-bye.